Okay, so we are live. Now, the trick question is, are we live in YouTube and my group on Facebook? So I am just going to check this. Hello, hello, hello. I see I have somebody watching. I will be doing some coloring tonight. I just want to check, have I actually gone live in my group? No. So where do I make it go live? So upcoming events. No. Yes. Yes, I'm live. Ah, yes, it worked. It worked, it worked, it worked. Hooray! Oh, my word. Don't you just love it when technology decides globally to just change things? So Facebook has decided that they are no longer going to support apps in groups. And of course, a lot of us stream to more than one place. And so I said, well, I'll do a test because there's always a workaround. Thank goodness for these techie people that design workarounds. So, hooray, it's working. Nice to know that. It just means I can't see comments from Facebook. So if you are commenting in Facebook, I have to actually switch to the Facebook Live to see. There are no comments yet. Okay, fine. But there are 3 of you watching. That much I can see. Oh, this is just thanks, Facebook. But anyway, and now that went. Did I freeze while I did that? Oh, who knows? Did I freeze? Of course, nobody's in YouTube, so I have to watch on a separate device. Okay, well, we get on with what I've decided to do tonight, seeing as I've worked and it's going live. I will be using my watercolor distress crayons, and I have in-based pencil crayons. So these are the pencil crayons. I just said crayons. Tim does have distress crayons. Those are water-based crayons as well, but these are pencil crayons. They are different. They work differently. And I have printed off the color swatches, and then I have organized them in a nice rainbow. So, yeah, well, they don't quite make sense, but you know what I mean. Each box is kind of a color family. And so I've decided that I will just do some coloring because I've seen on a few of my lives in the various different groups that people kind of struggle with coloring. So I thought, well, why not color a few of these characters? I need a few more for my box. What I like to do is I have a box of this is my latest range, the Safari Crew, the Seafari Crew, the Aquatica bunch, and then in here I've got my previous ranges with Funky Fossil. And so I just thought I would color a few up. And because they are steampunk characters, they absolutely do not have to be realistic colors. So, I mean, these squirrels could be, you get red squirrels, you get gray squirrels, but how about, I don't know, let's have a pink squirrel? I've been in a very pink mood. So I have got worn lipstick. Let's start with worn lipstick. And what I do is I work from light to dark when I'm coloring. And so I put a color base down all over. And that is a necklace. So we will color her décolleté. And then color under her chinny chin chin. Her nose, under her eye, and then she has a little bit of ear up there, and now she has a tail. So she has a big decorated tail, and you'll notice I am not being too fussy about how I color. So I am pretty much just getting the color down. And then once I've got the color down, I will come along with a darker color. So I'm going to take picked raspberry. Now you can sharpen these just like you would sharpen a normal pencil crayon. This one is getting quite dull, so it could probably do with some sharpening. Now, if you've ever been in one of my lives before, you'll know that I always say I like to have the sun coming from my right-hand side. And that just allows me not to have to think about anything. So it means that the shadows are all going to be on the left-hand side. And in this case, she's going to have a darker ear, and underneath her hat will be dark. Then underneath her chin will be dark. And on this side over here, this collar will be throwing a shadow. So we will have some shadows on that side. And if you can hear dogs barking, it's because it's a beautiful evening and I have the door open. Right, there is a little bit of arm that I forgot to color, so I will now color that. And again, it will need some shading. So underneath where the frill of her sleeve is and to the back of her arm. Great. Now let's have some salvaged patina. So I'm going to make her hat and her dress match. So I'm going to start with salvaged patina on her hat. I'm not going to do that trim at the top, but I need to do the brim of the hat. Then let's do this collar. I'm going to do in between those stripes. I'm going to go over the shading that I've drawn in. Let's carry on down this collar. Let's do the back of that collar. That side of her little bodice. Okay, so let's now make this frill this color. Let's make this frill this color. And I'm going to leave that for another color. So what have we? We have peacock feathers. So I'm going to use the peacock feathers up here for a bit of shading. So I'm going to use it where the built-in shadow is. I'm going to add some on the left there. I'm going to definitely add some where I've already got shading drawn in. And this collar, of course, is up. This one needs. So this is the back of, and under here will be some shadow. Definitely underneath here will be shadow. And then I'm going to do all of this a darker color. It's a different color fabric, different kind of fabric. So this is how, when I'm coloring, this is what I'm thinking as I'm working. Okay, now we need another color. So let's go with a wild honey to do these trims. So I'm going to repeat the colors. So what I like to do is when I'm coloring, I like a lot of repetition. It helps to lead your eye down the image. So I'm going to do her, I don't know what these are, sergeant stripes. I'm going to do this row of lace, that color. What else can I do this color? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think for now, let's do this line of. So there's enough going on to lead your eye with this extra color all the way around. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to use my water brush and I'm going to first I'm going to check that I put it away clean. Okay, so it has water in the barrel and I'm going to just, yes, I was a good artist and put my brush away clean. So I'm going to start with the palest color area first, get that going. I'm going to do the same on her face. So I'm activating the pencil crayon. Come down her neck on the side. Right now I can go into the darker color and blend it in. So I can bring that along up her face. and up the side and under her hat. Perfect. So now I can activate the darker pink. That's the shadow on the tail. Bring that all the way down so the bottom of the tail would be darker. And fade that out, and this area would be darker. Now what I can do, if I feel like that's not dark enough in places, I can just pick up some color from the pencil crayon directly. So that is now going to be really quite strong. And I can use it to really bring in some stronger details. So grabbing color directly. So down at the bottom here where I want the tail nice and dark, so real nice contrast, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to feather that out like so. And definitely over here where I want the tail kind of curling and doing something, there we go. So I can have some color at the bottom of this area, streak it up a little bit. Okay, I forgot, of course, the arm second time round, so I'm just using a piece of paper towel, take the excess off, and we'll do the arm. Right, let's get a little bit more color into the cleavage down here and right along this area there where there would be quite a strong shadow. Perfect. Now, what color nose should she have? They normally have darker than what they are, so let's just give her a slightly, we'll bring some color out there. Oops. If you don't like what you're doing, you just come back with a clean brush and you take it away. So, darker nose, yes. Okay, perfect. So, now I'm going to move on to the light blue. And where shall I start? I'll start down here in case my brush is not clean. Oh, but it is clean. And wiggle, stripe, stripe. There's too much shading in that one, so I'll go here. And we'll do the middle of the hat, bottom of her dress. Okay, so that's all the light turquoise done. Now I'm going to activate the darker turquoise areas, the brim of the hat, the collar with all that shading, the sleeve that was in the shadow. Okay, so we definitely need another color. Oh, and I forgot I had yellow there. So now we have some green. Oh, it actually looks quite pretty, thank goodness. So it bled because I swiped it. Right, so let's activate that yellow. Or was it wild honey? Activate it there, activate it there, activate it on the hat. Right, clean that off. Now I need to come back to the peacock feathers that I was using for shading. And I want it quite a lot darker at the back here. This is definitely like a sticky outy lapel lip thing. Of course, we have the collar that is definitely going to throw a shadow, so we'll do that. And on the side, we want it darker. This is further back, so anything, oh, excuse me, anything that you want to push away. Oh, excuse me. You need to make darker. So under here, there's a frill. And if you are commenting on Facebook, I can't see it. I'm not ignoring you. It's the news settings. That's why this is a test to see how things work. So I'm going to have to get my iPad set up next to me to be able to see comments. I can't put them on the screen, but I'll at least be able to read them. So now I want a little bit more shading here at the back of the hat, behind this monocle thing. It's not a goggle, it's a monocle. And bring some shading in there. Perfect. So now I'm happy with her and I can cut her out. So let's see if I can see what's happening on Facebook and if this will freeze. Oh, I have Isabel. I have Jason from Australia. Hello, hello. So yes, I've managed to come across and see that. Let's see. It's a bit behind on here, but I can go back to StreamYard. Yes, we are still moving. Okay, so that was just a quick test, and I thought I might as well actually do something while I'm doing the test. And so now we know it works, and thank you for watching my coloring, and we will see you in the next planned live. Bye for now.